I remember when I was a kid, I thought in older years the world was actually black and white. Same, bruh, same. These people makes me feel like a genius. They were a kid. LOL. Obviously, they don't think that anymore. So, like, why is this on how they make red lipstick on dreams? Why? I would not have guessed if that was the video that this was commenting on. Goodness gracious, people. Okay, I gotta get in the zone. No, my friend, I'm also more than likely the most intelligent person you'll ever actually communicate with in your life. I doubt we could hold a conversation and actually understand each other. If you want to make a quick attempt to describe my level of intelligence, I get bored with kids at Harvard. Not bored by a numbing of my mind at not understanding, but at the fact even their people tend to be slow to grasp complexity, and with any sort of speed. Though speed is mixed, much more common in that setting. Met some fast minds. Fast and deep though. That is so very rare. Rules are there, so less intelligent people know what to do. Rules are good guidelines. They're often there for a reason. However, exceptions to the rules are needed frequently. Why a rule is in place matters a lot more than blindly following it, simply because it's a rule. Smart people understand this and will ignore rules when it's appropriate. But there's inevitably always a less intelligent person around who has a meltdown over how you're breaking the rules because they don't see the big picture. People of lower intelligence need to strictly adhere to rules because they can't tell when it's appropriate to break them. Only smart people can break them wisely. Before coming to America at age 7, I already knew algebra. I started basic math all over again in algebra. Algebra in first grade? You sure about that? What do you do now? You might have known algebra at 7, but no country is supposed to teach it in first grade. Oh, I fear for our future. How can you identify intelligent people? I can spot it by their speech. They have a particular type of thinking. For example, when someone mentions an apple tree, the intelligent one can come up almost immediately with the wormhole or curvature of the space-time. WTF? How? Why? Well, apple tree leads to apple, leads to worm, leads to wormhole, leads to curvature of the space-time, and the ordinary person can't see what is going on. We were talking about the orchard, so where does the spaceship come out? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Just so as you know. Why do the smartest individuals have little interest in sports? Because there are more interesting and important things to learn and see other than people running behind a ball. Actually, playing a sport and engaging physically yourself is great. But watching sports is like watching someone else play video games. That's sure something. Pavlov, Boer Olympic gold medalist Frank Ryan and the Klitschko brothers are laughing at you. I'm tested around 150. I'm a former college athlete. I won national poetry contest in middle school with no prior education and ran a sub 4.6 in high school. I've always found it amusing to see my intellectual peers conflate their lack of athletic ability / genetic predisposition for strength, speed, with sports being uninteresting. I believe it has something to do with the ease which they've grasped the intangible since birth, and the closed-minded, subjective conclusion that stems from ease in academia, whereby it is more elite or interesting to constantly ponder rather than practically apply calculations from moment to moment at a speed they simply aren't capable of. Simply put, a lot of people chew gum well. It follows that those who can't chew it and walk at the same time would find a way to declare walking unnecessary. Why are you so entangled in the trivialities of these games? The Chiefs, the Falcons, these are but mere constructs of the mind, distractions to keep you away from the truth of existence. You expect excitement, but excitement is fleeting, my friends. It is like a flame that burns brightly for a moment, only to vanish into the vastness of nothingness. You see, this attachment to outcomes, whether the Chiefs win or lose, this is the root of your suffering. You expect them to bring you joy, to stir your emotions, yet all emotions are temporary. The game, the referees, the victories or defeats, these are illusions, samsara, keeping you chained to the wheel of desires. If you wish to find true fulfillment, do not look to the game, but within yourself. Whether they three-peat or fall short, it is irrelevant. What is relevant is your own awareness, your own awakening. Watch, if you wish, but watch with detachment. Do not let the outcome define you. Be the witness, not the participant. The true game is life itself, and it is played not on a field, but within the depths of your being. Poor guy, he got a -6. No one liked his response. It would seem internet irony is the product of a loosely regulated culture devoid of rite and ritual that countersignals any semblance of order by obfuscating meaning through the multiplication of unmeaning. Irony removes intent from language, thus implicitly rejecting the will and consequently spiraling language away from meaning towards utterance. Irony then must be the antecedent to any universal truth claim, thus denying any archetypal notions of greatness and the associated mechanism a forthright culture might have in cultivating greatness. In the vacuum of a cultural meta, optimizing for individual novelty becomes assumed. Thus, nihilism becomes accelerated through irony as the maximal application of self-titillation, of self-titillation, self-titillation.
Happiness as an individual measuring concept that emerges solely as a compensatory mechanism for the absence of a higher cause. Whether this state of nihilism is birthed by a culture that's seemingly conquered, it all with nothing left to conquer, or one that's been entirely defeated, a higher cause must be forged. The time to generate is now! Now!
As I was reading this, I I didn't even comprehend what he was saying. That's too many big words to compliment when you're staging some. Oh my. Yeah, so much saliva. Hello, my readers and audience from afar. Today, please join me in a review of A Confederacy of Dunces, winner of the Pulitzer Prize by John Kennedy Toole. Now, this review is given 2 stars from one of our dear readers, and I would like to share this with you today. I know I'm out on my own this one, but I detest this book. I really think it glorifies whining to an extent never before seen in the human condition. Everyone I know loves this book, and I know I am in a minority here, but
Quiz! That this book is so popular with people in my age bracket and not so popular with people older or younger, really makes me wonder if it is part of the problem or a reflection of the ruling, waning empathy of my gender wisdom.
but if this book has any redeemable aspects at all, it is that
It highlights the society I would with my gender wisdom is. Well, I work with babies.
it's reflected in the reverence people my age give this book, a book whose central lesson seems to be for dark, astounding irony about inaction and the paradoxes of a corrupt society. Read Catch-22 or some of the more comical writers of astrophysics tomes.
Confederation of Judges is a public competition, and I'd like to never have another conversation about this book as long as I live.
Thank you, dear readers, for joining us on today's review. Goodbye. Pick whichever one you like. Horrible thing to experience. Nice, vivid imagery. Do you write? Everyone and their dead grandmother is a writer anymore. They are terrible, and it's so obvious to me that they use a grammar checker for Grammarly with abusive treatment of a thesaurus. But you, my friend, are a natural. I love vivid descriptions and using poetic metaphors. To turn a simple description of crying that I came up with on the spot in a writing sub regarding how to write crying. Tears welled in her gray-blue eyes. One blink sent hot streams of defeat down her cheeks. No one responded to it because no one will admit that was damn brilliant without using a reference or copying it from a book. I've always had a natural talent for writing because I was a piece of escapism. My gosh. I'm just now getting into the workflow of making regular content. Never, ever have I made regular content before, and I'm now just getting fewer views per video. Now, this is just an observation. I'm not complaining. It is what it is, and I'm not discouraged by it. I just think the simplest explanation for this is in the fact the lack of intelligence of people. If there's a simpler one, I'd love to hear it. I will take this as a challenge. Problem acknowledged. Too intelligent to be viewed. Next step will be figuring out how to make unintelligent people watch intelligent content. Tough. But if there's a will, there's a way. I've already had some success by just posting a tweet that the normies found outrageous and grabbed their pitchforks. Lol. Make of that what you will. My IQ is 144. Here's how my brain works. I tend to think logically. So much so that I can tell when people are joking Well, if they are being serious, I only hear the words they say. Sarcasm is also me. Although I can dish it out, I look at every situation from both sides and tend to point. That's how my brain works. If you don't want to apologize, acting like a bore is hardly the way to do it. Nope, it's not what I said. Everyone reading the thread can see that. You don't want to apologize. Fine, take your wounded pride elsewhere. Meanwhile, in my office, I have a plaque congratulating me on 25 years in Mensa. I'm not worried about your opinion or snide remarks. Bum 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 bum. Until I say so. I think he just spit all over my microphone. Hold on, let me clean this off. Ugh, ugh. ASMR for all you weirdos out there. Alright. Moving onwards.